Hi everyone. Today I'll be guiding you through a 20-minute yin yoga class. So you won't need anything but your mat, a very simple stretch that you could be doing at home. So let's begin in a child's pose, bringing your knees as wide as your mat. Sit those hips down and just make sure that your knees are a comfortable distance apart. We're going to be staying here for a little while, so you really want to make sure that your hips are okay, your knees feel okay. Relaxing the sit bones down towards your heels. Beginning to feel your body get heavier. So the point of these yin poses is that we find stillness. Use the weight of your body and gravity to do the work. Just like all our usual yoga poses, yoga practice, try to really focus on your breath. As if you can feel your body softening a bit more with every out breath. Feeling the tops of the feet, your ankles, your hips, your knees, your thighs, lower back, upper back, shoulders, neck, all relaxing a little bit more. Ten more rounds of breath here. When you've completed those 10 rounds of breath, you can slowly begin to raise your head and walk your hands in. Sit all the way back, taking your time. Take little rocks side to side with your hips, feeling any cracks. And bring your knees back together. Now we're going to come into a toe stretch. If you are on a harder floor surface, make sure you roll your mat up or use a blanket underneath your knees. Going to be kneeling here with the toes tucked under sitting the hips back towards your heels. And then here you can choose to either bring your hands onto your thighs or bring your hands behind your back, grabbing opposite elbows. Really relaxing the shoulders here. And then relaxing your hips down towards your heels. Close your eyes down. Staying here for 20 rounds of breath. Like you can send your breath to those tight spots in the metatarsals of your toes, the soles of your feet. Ten more rounds of breath. You can begin to visualize yourself coming out of the pose, especially towards the end when the pose gets a little bit intense, a bit strong. And then you can slowly release, leaning forward. Bring your hands back in front of you. And slowly you can raise your toes, wriggle your toes one at a time, bring some blood flow back into your toes, roll out your ankles. Maybe lightly tapping the tops of your feet onto the mat. Okay, and the next pose is our pigeon pose. You can take it into a sleeping swan, and the only difference is that in pigeon, we want the hips to be quite square, whereas in sleeping swan, you can kind of sit over to one side. So let's begin by bringing the right knee behind your right wrist. You can shuffle your left foot a little further back behind you, and then sit over towards that right hip. At the same time, we're stretching into the shoulder by bringing your right arm under, like a thread the needle, right shoulder, right ear down onto the mat. If you need a bit of support for your neck, you can use that left fist or hand underneath your head like a pillow. Taking your time to get comfortable in the poses, because once we've found a position, we want to stay still and just hold there. "20 rounds of breath. Opening into the hips, into your glutes, into that right shoulder, the deltoid muscles. Ten more rounds of breath. You can stay a little bit longer, especially if you feel like you're just getting into the pose. But if you're ready to come out, you can reverse your path. Slowly walking your hands in. And we're just going to switch sides. Take it slow when you come out of these long holds. Use your hands to push the mat away. You can take a few shakes of your hips side to side. And then coming to the other side, bringing your left knee forward. Shuffle that right foot back. And keeping your hips square, or you just sit over towards that left hip. And then threading the needle, left arm under and through. Using your right hand underneath your head like a pillow. And then once you found that comfortable position, soften into the pose. 20 rounds of breath. Ten more rounds of breath. You can choose to stay longer. If you're ready to come out of the pose, you can slowly reverse your path. Walking hands in. Use those hands to push yourself all the way back up. Take those shakes of your hips side to side, drawing circles. Let's come to lie down onto our back now. Bringing your knees in towards your chest. You can take a few rocks side to side here first to massage your lower back. And then we're going to find a twist. You can drop both knees over towards your left side. Right arm opens out to the side, head looking towards that right hand. Letting your legs be really heavy, relaxed. And we're just using the weight of the legs to guide this twist. Find the release in your lower back, along the spine. There's no pushing or pulling in any of these yin poses. "20 rounds of breath. You've completed your 20 rounds of breath and you'd like to come to the other side. Bring your knees back through center, windmilling them through center, and then just drop them to the other side. Left arm opens out to the side, your head looking towards that left hand. You can close your eyes down. Feel your legs get a bit heavier. 20 rounds of breath. Staying here as long as you need. If you're ready to come out, you can bring both knees back in. Take those little rocks left and right. You can draw circles with your knees going in one direction and then the other. A final pose is a reclined butterfly. Bring your knees wide, feet together, arms overhead. You can have your arms straight overhead, or you could grab opposite fingers or wrists or elbows. Feel the whole back body press down into your mat and melt into the earth. The whole front body expanding and opening. You can stay here as long as you need. Feeling the opening in your inside thighs, the hips, the groin. In your own time, you can find your way back to a seated position. So you could bring those knees back together first, roll over onto one side, and push yourself back up. Maybe bringing those knees together and giving yourself a big hug. Chin towards your chest. Slowly raising your head. Coming out of this position when you're ready to move on with the rest of your day. Namaste.